Alright, let's talk reality for a second. The clock's ticking. You've got a few sunrises till summer is in full swing, and that list of maybe someday projects? They're staring you down like a stubborn goat that just found your prize-winning petunias. It's easy to feel overwhelmed thinking you need to dedicate entire weekends to massive, back-breaking tasks. But here's the secret sauce. It's not about the marathon, it's about the sprint. Quick, focused bursts of productivity are what really move the needle. Last week, I jerry-rigged a solar-powered pest deterrent with some old CDs that's now having a disco party in my garden beds. And just yesterday, I helped my neighbor fix his overflowing rain barrel in less time than it takes to watch an episode of my favorite show. The truth is, those small wins add up to massive gains in self-sufficiency. It's about being smarter, not just working harder. And that feeling of accomplishment? It's the fuel that keeps you going, so I've put together the ultimate cheat sheet for you. Here are 15 one-hour projects that'll ensure you're more self-sufficient come summer, without sacrificing your entire life to get there. These are the quick hits, the low-hanging fruit, the "why didn't I do this sooner?" tasks that will make your homestead run like a well-oiled machine. It's all about building a more resilient and productive life, 1 hour at a time. Before we dive in, a huge shout-out to our sponsor, Ancestry Lands. They're all about empowering people to build a legacy, promoting generational wealth through land ownership and sharing incredible gardening tips and tricks for landowners just like us. They believe in the power of working the land to create a better future, and I couldn't agree more. So if you're ready to transform your to-do list from a source of dread into a series of triumphs, you're in the right place. Let's get building. And hey, if you like what you see, make sure you subscribe and follow for more. First up, we're declaring war on fire ants. Specifically, the ones that think your precious compost pile is their personal all-you-can-eat buffet and luxury high-rise. We're building a fire ant deterrent moat, and it's brilliantly simple. All you need is a shovel and some stuff you probably already have lying around. The plan is to dig a shallow trench, maybe 3 to 4 inches wide, all the way around the perimeter of your compost bin. This isn't the Grand Canyon, we're just creating a no-go zone. Once you've got your mini moat, it's time to fill it. We're going to use a two-pronged attack. First, a generous layer of diatomaceous earth. To a tiny ant, this stuff is like walking barefoot across a field of broken glass. It's completely natural and safe for your garden, but absolutely lethal to insects with exoskeletons. On top of that, we're adding crushed eggshells. I save all my eggshells, bake them to sterilize, and crush them up. They add calcium to the soil as they break down, but more importantly, their sharp edges create another layer of "you shall not pass" for our six-legged invaders. The best part is the beautiful simplicity of the engineering here. You've created a barrier so uninviting, so physically sharp and pointy, that even the most determined ant scout is going to take one look at your spiky moat of doom and report back to the queen that the mission is a bust. It's a low-tech, high-impact solution that repurposes waste and protects your black gold. Plus, you get the satisfaction of knowing you outsmarted an entire colony with breakfast leftovers and some fancy dust. Are you tired of guessing how much rain you actually got? Did that quick shower really water the deep roots of your tomatoes, or was it just enough to tease them? It's time to stop guessing and start measuring with a DIY rain gauge. This project is so easy, you'll wonder why you ever considered buying one. Grab a standard 2-liter soda bottle. One with straight sides works best for accurate measurements. Carefully cut the top third of the bottle off. This top funnel piece is going to be your collection funnel. Now, take that top piece, flip it upside down, and place it into the bottom section of the bottle. It should fit snugly, creating a funnel that directs rainwater in and reduces evaporation. To keep your new gauge from blowing away in the very storm you're trying to measure, add a few pebbles or marbles to the bottom for weight. Then, fill it with water just enough to cover the pebbles, and mark that level as your zero line. From there, use a ruler to mark your measurements up the side in inches or centimeters. Use a permanent marker for a quick job, or get fancy with etched lines. All that's left is to install it. Find a nice open spot in your yard, away from trees or buildings that could obstruct rainfall. You can either dig a small hole and bury the base a few inches deep, or use some zip ties or wire to mount it to a fence post. Now you have a surprisingly accurate, cost-free scientific instrument in your garden. You'll finally have concrete data on your local weather patterns, and you'll know for sure if your neighbor's rain dance is actually working or if they're just embarrassing their kids. Let's talk about peace of mind. You've worked hard for your homestead, and feeling secure on your own land is non-negotiable. This 1-hour project is a trifecta of simple, effective home defense upgrades. First, we're tackling the weakest point of any door, the screws. Go to your main entry doors, and take a look at the strike plate. That's the metal plate on the door frame where the latch goes. Most builders use flimsy half-inch screws. You're going to replace those with 3-inch long construction screws. This simple swap drives the screws through the door jamb and deep into the wall stud, making the door exponentially harder to kick in. Next up, we're weaponizing the sun. Solar-powered motion-activated lights are cheap, effective, and require zero wiring. Identify the dark corners of your property, the path to the chicken coop, the side of the barn, the driveway entrance. Installing these is as simple as driving 1 or 2 screws. When something moves at night, a blast of bright light is an incredible deterrent for both 2-legged and 4-legged intruders. It instantly removes the cover of darkness they rely on. Finally, for the ultimate in awareness, let's talk about cameras. The price of good quality, weather-resistant security cameras has dropped so much that they're a no-brainer. In less than an hour, you can mount a few cameras covering your main approaches and sync them to your phone. The goal here isn't to build Fort Knox, it's to create layers of deterrence. With longer screws, motion-activated lights, and visible cameras, you've made your property a much less appealing target. Even the mailman might think twice before dropping off junk mail. It's about being prepared, not paranoid. Your garden's success hinges on a tiny buzzing workforce, the pollinators. Bees, butterflies, and other beneficial insects are the unsung heroes of your harvest. And just like any hard worker, they get thirsty. This project, a pollinator hydration station, is your way of saying thank you and ensuring they stick around. It's ridiculously simple. Find a shallow dish, a pie plate, or even an old bird bath. The key word here is shallow. We want to provide a safe place to drink, not a treacherous swimming pool where they can drown. Once you have your container, the next step is crucial for bee safety. Fill the bottom of the dish with rocks, pebbles, or colorful marbles. This is what gives the insects a safe place to land. They can perch on the edge of a marble and sip the water without any risk of falling in. It turns a simple bowl of water into a 5-star, all-inclusive resort for your 6-legged friends. The different heights and surfaces give pollinators of all sizes a place to rest and rehydrate. All that's left is to add water. Use rainwater if you have it, as it's free of the chlorine and other chemicals found in tap water. Place your new hydration station in or near your garden, somewhere visible but not in a high-traffic area where it might get knocked over. You'll be amazed at how quickly it becomes a popular hangout. By providing this simple resource, you're not just being a good host, you're directly investing in the productivity of your garden. More happy, hydrated bees mean better pollination and a bigger harvest. It's official. Bees need a pool day too. There's nothing more frustrating than waking up to find your sweet corn decimated or your trash cans raided by crafty critters. Instead of resorting to traps or chemicals, let's build a humane, solar-powered pest deterrent that works on their psychology. This is all about creating an environment of unpredictable light and movement. The main components are cheap solar-powered garden stake lights and some old scratched-up CDs or DVDs you have lying around. Yes, we are finally finding a use for that copy of a movie you've been meaning to get rid of. First, take your solar garden lights and place them strategically around the area you want to protect, like the perimeter of your vegetable garden or near your chicken coop. These will charge all day and then automatically turn on at dusk, providing a baseline of light. Now for the disco ball element. Drill a small hole near the edge of a few old CDs. Use fishing line or string to hang them from tree branches, fence posts, or shepherd's hooks. Positioned so they hang a few inches in front of your solar lights. Here's where the magic happens. As the sun sets, the solar lights turn on. Any slight breeze will cause the suspended CDs to spin and sway. The light from the solar stake will catch the reflective surface of the CD, sending unpredictable flashes and patterns of light all over the place. To a nocturnal animal like a raccoon or a possum, this sudden, chaotic light show is incredibly startling. It messes with their night vision and creates a sense of danger and unpredictability. Raccoons absolutely hate surprise disco parties, especially when they were planning a quiet, all-you-can-eat buffet. Happy hens lay more eggs, and one of the keys to a happy hen is keeping her free from mites and lice. Chickens don't take water baths, they take dust baths. It's their natural way to clean their feathers and keep parasites at bay. You can seriously upgrade their quality of life by creating a dedicated supercharged dust bath. All you need is a shallow container, a kid's sandbox, an old tire, or a simple wooden frame you can knock together with scrap wood in about 20 minutes. The container just needs to be big enough for a few chickens to flop around in at once. The real secret is in the recipe for the dust. Don't just fill it with dirt. We're creating a custom spa mixture. The base should be plain construction sand, which provides the grit. To that, we're going to add 2 key ingredients. First, wood ash from your fireplace or fire pit. Just make sure it's completely cool and from untreated wood only. Wood ash is rich in vitamins and minerals and helps suffocate any mites. Second, a generous scoop of food-grade diatomaceous earth. As we know from our ant moat, this stuff is a parasite's worst nightmare. Mix all these ingredients together in your container and place it in a sunny, sheltered spot in the chicken run. The chickens will know exactly what to do. They'll hop in, scratch around and wiggle and flap, coating themselves in your beneficial mixture. It's hilarious to watch and incredibly effective. You're not just giving them a place to clean themselves, you're providing preventative medicine that reduces your workload and keeps your flock healthy and productive. It's the equivalent of a 5-star spa day, and your chickens will thank you for it with perfect, delicious eggs. If you grow your own herbs, you know the magic of having fresh basil, oregano, and thyme right outside your door. But preserving that harvest is key. The classic method of hanging them in bunches works, but it can be slow, and sometimes they get dusty or nibbled on. This DIY herb drying rack is a massive upgrade. It's fast to build, provides better airflow for quicker drying, and keeps your precious herbs safe. The best frame material is cedar because it's naturally rot-resistant and smells amazing, but honestly, any scrap 1x2s will do. You're essentially building a shallow picture frame. Cut 4 pieces of wood to your desired size, let's say 2 feet by 3 feet, and screw them together at the corners. Now for the drying surface. We're using hardware cloth, which is a sturdy metal mesh with small openings. It's perfect because it allows for maximum air circulation from all sides, which is really the secret to fast, even drying. Roll out the hardware cloth over your frame, pull it taut and staple it securely to the wood every few inches. Use tin snips to trim off the excess mesh and be sure to hammer down any sharp edges. To use it, simply lay your herb sprigs in a single layer on the mesh. You can place the rack on a couple of sawhorses in a well-ventilated garage, a shed, or even a spare room. The elevated design ensures air flows above and below the herbs, drying them much faster than hanging and preventing mold. It's also mouse-proof, which is a huge bonus. No more finding your carefully harvested mint has turned into confetti before you even get a chance to use it for tea. This simple rack ensures your herbal harvest makes it from the garden to your pantry perfectly preserved. Running out of garden space? Or maybe you're just tired of bending over to tend your plants? It's time to think vertically with a gutter garden. This project is brilliant for growing shallow-rooted plants like lettuce, spinach, strawberries, and especially herbs. It takes advantage of unused vertical space, like a sunny wall on your house, shed, or a sturdy fence. All you need is a section of standard rain gutter, a couple of end caps, and some mounting brackets. You can often find scrap pieces of gutter for free or cheap at construction sites or home improvement stores. First, decide on the length you need and cut the gutter to size with a hacksaw. Pop an end cap on each side and seal them with a bead of silicone caulk to make sure they're watertight. Next, you need to think about drainage because even herbs don't like to have their feet constantly wet. Using a drill with a 1/4-inch bit, drill a series of drainage holes every 6 to 8 inches along the bottom of the gutter. This is a critical step to prevent root rot. Now for the fun part, mounting it. Secure the gutter brackets to your chosen wall or fence, making sure they're level, and then simply snap the gutter into place. Fill it with a good quality, lightweight potting mix, and you're ready to plant. You've just created a highly productive, space-saving garden bed that's at a comfortable working height. It's an incredibly efficient way to grow a ton of fresh herbs right outside your kitchen door. Your herbs will literally be living the high life, and your back will thank you for it. Wasps. They're aggressive, they build nests in the worst possible places, and they can be a real danger to you, your family, and your livestock, especially chickens who might try to eat them. While they have a place in the ecosystem, you don't want them setting up shop right next to your back door. This DIY wasp trap is a non-toxic, super effective way to control the local population. It uses their own appetite against them, and you can make it in 5 minutes with an empty soda bottle. Take a 2-liter soda bottle and cut the top third off, just like we did for the rain gauge. Now create the bait. Wasps are attracted to sweet, fermenting things. A perfect recipe is a splash of vinegar, which helps deter honeybees from going in, a spoonful of sugar, and a piece of overripe fruit like a banana peel. Add a little water to create a liquid lure and pour it into the bottom of the soda bottle. The scent is absolutely irresistible to wasps. Now take the top funnel piece you cut off, flip it upside down, and place it back into the bottle opening. The wasps will fly down the funnel, attracted by the sweet smell of your bait. Once they're inside, they're in big trouble. Their instincts and anatomy make it incredibly difficult for them to figure out how to fly back up and out through the small opening. You've essentially created a one-way door to their demise. It's a simple, brilliant design proving that wasps will fall for the oldest banana in the bottle trick in the book every single time. If you raise livestock like goats, sheep, or cattle, you know how important it is to provide them with free choice minerals. These mineral blocks or loose powders are packed with essential nutrients they need for healthy growth, strong immune systems, and good reproduction. The problem is, if you just leave a mineral block out in the field, the rain will turn it into a soupy, expensive mess in no time. This project is a simple shelter to protect that investment and ensure your animals always have access to clean, dry minerals. The design can be as simple or as complex as you want, but a quick and dirty version can be built in under an hour. A classic and effective design is a small, three-sided lean-to. You can use scrap plywood or pallet wood for the walls and roof. Just build a small box, open on one side, that's big enough to hold your mineral block or feeder. Make it just tall enough for your animals to comfortably get their heads inside. You can even mount it on short legs to keep it up off the wet ground. For an even faster solution, you can take a sturdy plastic tote or a 55-gallon barrel, cut an opening in the side, and secure it to a fence post or a tree. The goal is just to create a roof and a backsplash to keep the rain from dissolving your mineral block. It's a small detail, but it makes a big difference. It saves you money by preventing waste, and it improves your animals' health by ensuring the minerals are always palatable. Your goats will finally have their own exclusive, all-weather VIP lounge. A cold frame is a homesteader's secret weapon, allowing you to extend your growing season in both spring and fall. But its effectiveness plummets if it's not properly sealed. Cold air leaking in and warm air leaking out defeats the whole purpose. This one-hour project is a simple gasket upgrade that will dramatically improve your cold frame's performance, keeping your plants warmer and saving you from a lot of heartache when a late frost hits. Over time, the seals around the lid of your cold frame can dry out, crack, and peel away. Your first step is to inspect the existing seal. If it's damaged, peel or scrape it all off. Clean the surface thoroughly with some rubbing alcohol to ensure the new gasket will adhere properly. This prep work is the most important part of the job, so don't skimp on it. A clean surface means a tight seal. Now head to the hardware store and grab some self-adhesive foam weather stripping tape. It comes in various thicknesses, so try to get something that will nicely fill the gap when the lid is closed. Starting at one corner, carefully peel back the paper and apply the foam tape all the way around the frame where the lid makes contact. Press it down firmly. This new pliable gasket will create an airtight seal, trapping solar heat during the day and, more importantly, holding that warmth in overnight. Your spinach seedlings will be so much cozier they won't even need to knit their own tiny winter coats. We all know compost is black gold for the garden, but making it can feel like a chore, especially the part where you have to turn the pile. Regular aeration is critical for speeding up decomposition and preventing it from becoming a stinky anaerobic mess. But stabbing at a dense pile with a pitchfork is a serious workout. This DIY compost aerator is a game changer, allowing you to get oxygen deep into the pile with minimal effort. All you need is a length of PVC pipe. Get a piece of 1.5 or 2-inch diameter PVC pipe about 4 feet long. The first step is to create a handle. You can either glue on a T-fitting at one end to make a nice T-handle, or simply drill a hole through the pipe and slide a wooden dowel or a sturdy bolt through it. This will give you the leverage you need to twist and pull. The business end of the aerator is what makes it so effective. We need to give it some teeth. Using a drill with a fairly large bit, say 1/2 inch, drill holes randomly all over the bottom 2 feet of the pipe. Go all the way through both sides. Then at the very tip, use a hacksaw to cut the end of the pipe at a sharp 45-degree angle. This pointed tip allows you to easily plunge the aerator deep into your compost pile. Once it's in, you just give it a twist and pull it back out. As you pull, the holes grab onto the compost material, pulling it upwards and creating channels for air to flow in. No more wrestling with your compost pile like it's a sumo match. Project 13, the Clean Water Rain Barrel Filter. Collecting rainwater in barrels is a fantastic way to be more self-sufficient and provide your garden with chlorine-free water. But, Honestly, if you're just letting water pour in from your downspout, you're also collecting leaves, shingle grit, bird droppings, and all sorts of other gunk. This debris can clog your spigot, jam up your irrigation lines, and turn the bottom of your barrel into a sludge pit. Installing a simple microfilter at the inlet is an easy 1-hour fix that'll save you a ton of headaches. The easiest way to do this is to modify the inlet hole where your downspout feeds the barrel. Most barrels have a screen, but the holes are often too large to stop smaller debris. So we're going to add a layer of fine mesh. You can use window screen material, a piece of old pantyhose, or, my personal favorite, a paint strainer bag from the hardware store. They're cheap, durable, and just the perfect size. If your barrel has a removable lid or basket, simply stretch your chosen mesh material over the opening and secure it with a bungee cord, some wire, or by screwing it down under the existing ring. If your downspout goes directly into a sealed hole, you can cut the downspout a foot above the barrel, fit a paint strainer bag over the end, and secure it with a hose clamp. Now all the water flows through this fine filter, catching all the gunk before it ever enters your barrel. Just remember to clean the filter every few weeks, especially after a big storm. Your irrigation lines will thank you for not turning them into miniature mudslides. Project 14, the Razor's Edge Tool Sharpening Station. Let's be honest, how many of us are guilty of fighting our way through a pruning job with dull shears, or hacking at soil with a spade that has the cutting edge of a butter knife? Working with dull tools is frustrating, inefficient, and can even damage your plants. This project is about creating a dedicated, upcycled tool sharpening station so that keeping your tools sharp is no longer a chore you put off. You can set this up in a corner of your garage or shed in under an hour. Just find a small, sturdy table or a section of workbench you can dedicate to this. The most important component is a good bench vise. You can often find old, heavy-duty vices at flea markets or yard sales for cheap. Securely bolt this vise to your work surface. This is your third hand, and it's essential for holding tools safely and securely while you work on them. Trying to sharpen a shovel blade while holding it with your knees is, frankly, a recipe for disaster. Next, gather your sharpening tools. You don't need a lot. A good mill bastard file is perfect for restoring the edge on shovels, hoes, and axes. For finer tools like pruners and knives, a set of sharpening stones, maybe a coarse and a fine one, is ideal. Keep a small can of honing oil, or even just a bottle of mineral oil handy to use with your stones. Mount a magnetic tool strip on the wall above your station to hold your files and stones. Now everything is in one place, ready to go. You'll be amazed at how much more enjoyable gardening is when your pruners can slice through a tomato stem instead of just bruising its ego. Project 15, the Bug-Off Natural Pesticide Sprayer. Sometimes, despite all our best efforts, the pests declare war. But you don't have to reach for the harsh chemical cavalry. Creating your own natural pesticide sprays using things like neem oil, insecticidal soap, or even just garlic and cayenne pepper is a great alternative. This project is about upgrading your delivery system and incorporating a hands-off pest control strategy. First, let's pimp your sprayer. A cheap 1-gallon pump sprayer is a homesteader's best friend, but, we can make it better. Start by upgrading the nozzle. Many sprayers come with a cheap plastic nozzle that gives an inconsistent spray. You can often find brass replacement nozzles that are adjustable and provide a much finer, more even mist, which is key for coating the underside of leaves where pests hide. Next, use a label maker or a permanent marker to clearly label your sprayer pesticides, only to avoid any cross-contamination with fertilizers or other sprays. Keep your go-to natural recipes, like a tablespoon of neem oil and a teaspoon of dish soap per gallon of water, taped right to the sprayer so you never have to look it up. But here's the pro-level upgrade hands-off pest control. While you're at the nursery, pick up some specific anti-pest flowers. Plants like yarrow, calendula, and feverfew aren't just pretty. They actively repel or trap pest insects like aphids and nematodes. Even better, these flowers have historical medicinal uses for you too. Calendula for skin salves, feverfew for headaches. By interplanting these throughout your garden, you create a beautiful, multifunctional defense system. The bugs will check out before they even have a chance to check in. And there you have it, 15 projects, 1 hour each. That's it. We just knocked out a whole season's worth of upgrades in the time it takes to watch a movie, see? You don't need to clear your calendar for a month or work 80-hour weeks to get your homestead prepped for summer. You just need focused bursts of smart, intentional work. These small victories are what build momentum and create a property that not only produces for you, but is also a genuine joy to manage. The feeling of looking around at what you've accomplished one small project at a time is what this is all about. The goal is to move from feeling overwhelmed by a giant to-do list to feeling empowered and in control. Each of these projects is a step toward more resilience, more productivity, and more peace of mind. They prove that progress isn't about giant leaps, it's about consistent, manageable steps forward. I'm genuinely curious, which of these projects are you going to tackle first? Are you declaring war on wasps, building a chicken spa, or getting your disco on to scare away raccoons? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to check out our sponsor Ancestry Lands. They are an incredible resource for anyone looking to build generational wealth through land ownership and smart, sustainable gardening. They are committed to helping you succeed on your journey. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. Be sure to subscribe and follow for more tips, tricks, and probably a few more bad jokes along the way. Now go get building.